All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, double honors to apostles, great millstone, and salutation to the elect, which hold to be. Now, this is your brother Hawaii from GMAT Chicago, and pretty much I want to get into a few scriptures on fame and glory, man. You know, this is First Corinthians chapter 8, verse 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifies. You know what I'm saying? When you go into the word puff it up, you know, it means to make proud, man. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you know, when you come into this truth, you know what I'm saying, you get breakdowns and you increase in the understanding of the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? It can make you proud, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know, say if you know, you get a little knowledge, you know what I'm saying? You know, women start to attract to you. You got you got brothers that's underneath you that look up to you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't constantly examine yourself and check yourself, you know what I'm saying, that could all go to your head, man. You know what I'm saying? And you'll have the wrong idea. You know what I'm saying? Because when it says that it says, but charity edifies, you know what I'm saying? What is the charity? Giving the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and some confusion of faith through bloodline. Go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who are Israelites, to let them know that they're Israelites. You know what I'm saying? That they need to come back to their heritage. You know, that the Bible is only for them, and breaking all the strongholds of the wickedness that's out in this world. You know what I'm saying? Demolishing all the lies. You know that charity edifies. But if you puff it up, you know what I'm saying, and it's causing you to increase. You know what I'm saying? Causing you, if you puff it up, then it causes you to increase in your puff upness. You know what I'm saying? Then you know, you're pretty much going the wrong way, man. Because now it's about vainglory and not, you know, teaching the flock. It's all about you now. You know. So like, this is Sirach or Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha, chapter 10, verse 12. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High Yahweh, who the Heavenly Father is, you know, who the world only calls Jehovah. His name is Yahweh, though. And Yahushua is who the world only calls Jesus Christ, man, you know. And it says, I read again, this Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 12. It says, the beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker. You know why? Because now you're not worried about doing the things that is that you're supposed to do to make your relationship with Yahweh Shai tighter and better, man. You know what I'm saying? Now it's all about you. Now it's about how you look, what your image is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the wrong way to go, you know. This is Galatians. So like this is and I keep reading verse 13 in Sirach. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're gonna go off. Well, another thing with pride is that it can blind you from keeping yourself in order. You know, keeping yourself in check, man. You know what I'm saying? And if that happens, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna lean more to yourself and lean more to your understanding, and start seeping away from the understanding of the Heavenly Father, man. You know. And it says, that word abomination in Hebrew is the aiba, and it means to disgusting, man. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna pour out disgustingness, you know. It says, and therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. You know what I'm saying? Because then, you know, you'll start getting jacked up. The Lord gonna start jacking you up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you in it for the wrong thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You in it for the for some lights, camera, action, and shows, man. You know what I'm saying? And this truth is not about that, man. It's not about fame. It's not about cars, clothes, hoes. You know what I'm saying? Glory on this side, man. Glory on this side is vain. It's empty, man. Fit for destruction, man. You know. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 3. It says, for if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. So if you think you all that in a bag of chips, you know what I'm saying, and you're not focused on the mission, and your new mission is to make yourself look good and stuff, you deceive yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's about the elect coming back into the fold. And the Lord had called you, you know what I'm saying, to be a fisher, to fish out of his elect. And if you, and when you really think about it, if you really lean in to your own vainglory to look good in this truth, you know what I'm saying, then that means that that it's a good chance that you probably won't become one of them hunters, man. You know what I'm saying? That you was just one of them tools that the Lord had used just to bring in a leg and then spew you out later on, man. You know? It's like this is First Maccabees, for a few examples. Chapter 5, verse 55. It says, "Now what time as Judas Maccabees and Jonathan were in the land of Gilead," it says, "and Simon his brother in Galilee before Ptolemais." And it says, "Joseph the son of Zacharias and Azarias, captains of the garrisons, heard of the valiant acts and warlike deeds which they had done." It says, "Wherefore they said, let us go get us a name and go fight against the heathen that are round about us." And it says, so when Joseph, so like Zacharias and Azarias, you know what I'm saying, Azarias, they wanted to pretty much make a name for themselves because they see Judas Maccabees, you know what I'm saying, and other valiant, you know what I'm saying, which I believe that means brave men, you know what I'm saying, from that war for the acts that they done in the war, you know what I'm saying, defeating enemies, you know what I'm saying. And warlike story was going abroad, across the nations, and they wanted that as well. Verse 57. "Wherefore they said, let us also get us a name, and go fight against the heathen that are round about us." It says, so when they had given charge unto the garrison that was with them, they went toward Jamnia. Then came Georgius and his men out of the city to fight against them. And so it was that Joseph and Azarias were put to flight and pursued unto the borders of Judea. And there were slain that day of the people of Israel about 2,000 men. So with these two, you know what I'm saying, wanted to get a name for themselves, you know what I'm saying, they with them doing that, you know what I'm saying, seeking out their own vainglory instead of doing what they were supposed to do and be captain of the garrisons and stay in their spot, you know what I'm saying, they went to go create a name for themselves and had 2,000 men of Israel slain, man. You know what I'm saying? All just so they can have their names etched forever in history, man. You know what I'm saying? And it says, verse 61, it says, "Thus was there a great overthrow among the children of Israel, because they were not obedient to Judas, which is Judas Maccabees, and his brethren, but thought to do some valiant act," man. So since they wanted to create a name for themselves, for them doing that, you know what I'm saying, instead of staying where they needed to be, or where they was commanded to be, you know what I'm saying, to stay in their place, to stay in their lane, and not to do too much, they caused 2,000 men in their own nation to get slain, man. And then think about it like this, the man that's in the truth. If you out here for vainglory, what if you get the wrong breakdown, man? You know what I'm saying? What if you can't no longer get corrected, and then you outside the truth? You know what I'm saying? Because there's an example, but that's within there's an example within certain camps, man. Outside of GMS that don't preach the correct doctrine as GMS, Great Millstone, and wanted vainglory. You know what I'm saying? Got it. But now all they doing is waxing worse and worse. Giving out a curse to their brethren instead of healing them, giving them more poison instead of life, for or another example. This is First Maccabees chapter 6, verse 42. It says, then Judas Maccabees, his host, drew near and entered into battle, and there were slain of the king's army 600 men. Eleazar, also surnamed Savarin, perceiving that one of the beasts armed with royal harness was higher than all the rest, and supposing that the king was upon him, put himself in jeopardy to the end he might deliver his people and get him a perpetual name. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same thing, you know. And it says, wherefore he ran upon him courageously through the midst of the battle, slaying on the right hand and on the left, so that they were divided from him on both sides. Which done, he crept under the elephant and thrust him under and slew him. Whereupon the elephant fell down upon him, and there he died. You know. So this was the consequence of getting the fame, glory, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking for getting him, trying to get a name, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, and usually like in ancient times, like when it come down to the battles, you know what I'm saying, it's just like chess. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you get the checkmate, you take out the king. You know what I'm saying? Then the war is over with. You know what I'm saying? You know, and with him trying to go for get his own glory, get his own name. You know what I'm saying? In the end, he died just for that. Instead of just doing what he probably should have been doing. You know, just fighting and you know, just fighting and hoping to win the battle, man. You know. But the thing is that he wanted a name for himself, and that name, that importance of getting that name, that fame, a perpetual name ever sketched in history, caused him his death, man. You know. And I hope this video is edifying, and I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, double honors to apostles of great millstone, and salutation to the elect which you have to be. Shalom.